What time to give evidence?
Not till this afternoon. 2 o'clock.
Yeah, well, you just be careful what you say, my girl.
Don't worry. I will.
Charlie Frere's not a man to be trusted.
I'm very well aware of that, Dad.
Well, if that's so, why did you ever get involved with him again?
Well, I did, and there's no changing that now.
Yeah. He's brought you nothing but trouble.
I don't need a lecture, Dad.
I'm not lecturing you. I just happen to be your old man, and I'm very concerned.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
Insider dealing, defrauding shareholders. Freer and Urquhart could face a long prison sentence if they're found guilty. Unless, of course, they find a scapegoat.
Well, not in me, if that's what you're concerned about.
You sure about that?
There's your coffee.
Right, cheers. Thank you.
Ken Master's office. What? Oh, look, just hang on a minute. Ken, it's Jan Howard in reception to see you.
I'm not in.
Look, Ken, she's demanding to see you.
Well, she can demand all she likes. Won't get her anywhere. She makes an appointment like everyone else. Who the hell does she think she is? Oh, Jan, how are you?
Absolutely furious.
Yes, I can see that. I'm going to have a word with my receptionist, teach her how to deal with visitors.
Your receptionist isn't the problem, Ken.
I don't understand.
Oh, I think you do. Why else have you been trying to avoid me?
I'm not trying to avoid you. I'm just on my way to a meeting, that's all.
Not until we have had our discussion.
Can't it wait?
No. Ken, I'm just going to go and check the display with...
Right, thank you very much. Well, what the hell is all this about?
The defendants are being charged by the Crown under Sections 1 and 3 of the Company Securities Insider Dealing Act 1985. That is, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, fraud. Serious fraud. Committed during the McLean leisure takeover against unsuspecting shareholders. The defendants deny all charges. No doubt, they will maintain that they were totally unaware that certain events transpired. However, I intend to produce evidence throughout the duration of the trial to unequivocally prove to you that they were indeed fully aware of what transpired, in the hope that you return a guilty verdict, for which I shall recommend the maximum custodial sentence.
You've heard the good news. Yes, the cruiser's back on schedule, I believe. Yes, you can take delivery at the end of the week. I'm delighted to hear it. Now, how soon can we get some shots for the brochure? How about tomorrow? If we put it on display at the Yard's birthday party, it would be excellent PR for both the leisure cruise and the Mermaid. Good idea.
Oh, I think this should be ready for tomorrow.
Well, I don't see why not. Jack told me he'd picked up a few days. He could even be ahead of schedule. Yeah, Jack's always saying that. What does Tom think? Tom? Oh, Tom's not here. He's still in the Mediterranean. Oh, is he? Working with, would you believe, Demetrius. Archist Demetrius? The one and only. Well. He was so impressed with Tom's designs, he asked him to stay on, to check out the possibility of renovating an old J-class boat he's found.
Flew Tom down to the Greek Isles in his own private jet.
Yeah, well, he would, wouldn't he? And you think what the Demetrius family must be worth.
Jack's been green with envy ever since he found out Tom's bringing her back. Lovely job. He can't wait to get his hands on her.
Yes, and I can't wait to get mine on that cruiser. Quite. What is the exact situation, Bill?
Oh, you know Jack, Vanessa. If he says a boat is ready, then it's ready.
Good. So there's no problem then? Nope.
Not as long as the paint's dry, Miss Monroe.
I was going to tell you.
But you didn't.
Eventually.
Why didn't you at the time?
Because you're an independent lady, Jan. You wouldn't have wanted to get involved.
You're damn right I wouldn't have.
And where would that have left you, huh? I mean, maintaining your independence is all very well and good, but where would you have been? Struggling.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, come on, Jan, you were going through a rough patch. You should be thanking me for steering James Brooke in your direction, not accusing me. I was doing you a favour.
You know, if I didn't know you better, Ken, I'd be tempted to believe that.
Well, believe it, it's true. I wouldn't do anything to hurt you, Jan. You know that.
This loan that James took out, you hold shares as collateral?
Well, yes, it was a substantial amount of money. I had to protect my interests.
Oh, yes, and I have to protect mine. So, if James defaults on the loan, you own the shares.
Well, if that's what's worrying you, relax. I would only exercise my share option as a last resort.
And ease James out of the business.
Well, what would I gain by that?
Oh, come on, Ken, you know very well. A large stake in a thriving fashion house.
I have no intention of increasing my stake in your business, Jan.
Really? Then why did you offer to buy Tom's shares?
I I mean, if there is the odd share available, well, yes, of course I'm interested.
I know you very well, Ken. And I know exactly what you're up to. Now, this is my business. And I put everything I have into it. Don't try to take it away from me.
If that's a threat, I'm going to ignore it. Because I think you're upset over this little misunderstanding.
There is no little misunderstanding, Ken. Just as long as you know where you stand.
Would you tell the court just exactly when you entered into negotiations with McLean Leisure?
Are you referring to my personal role, or the role of executives in my company's employ?
Your role, Mr. Freer.
I didn't participate directly until the 20th.
Who instigated negotiations?
I really think that question should be directed at the managing director of Relton Marine.
The question was directed at you, Mr. Freer.
Well, I can't say categorically, but I would assume that one of Relton Marine's senior accountants instigated the negotiations, initially.
Cannot or will not say, Mr. Freer.
Perhaps I should explain.
I wish you would.
Thank you. Senior executives in each subsidiary of Freer Holdings are wholly responsible for their management teams. Who they choose or do not choose to carry out specific tasks is entirely their decision. No concern of mine.
I see. As chairman of the board, what would you consider to be your prime concern and responsibility?
In broad terms, to ensure the profitability of each subsidiary company.
Because you also have a responsibility to your shareholders, do you not?
Quite.
And, if I may say so, a reputation as a highly successful businessman with a somewhat autocratic management style?
A company like Freer Holdings is not built into a major empire by what you choose to call an autocratic businessman, Mr. Elliot, but rather by talented management teams with a commitment from each and every one of its employees to achieve set objectives.
Set by whom? Yourself as chairman?
Concerning some matters, yes. In association with my board of directors, of course.
I would submit to you that a company like Freer Holdings wasn't built into a major empire by a chairman who doesn't have his finger on the pulse of the business, so to speak, in all matters, Mr. Freer.
Matters of any significance.
Would you consider the multi-million-pound takeover of McLean Leisure as significant?
I don't quite follow.
It's perfectly clear, isn't it? Would you consider the multi-million-pound takeover of McLean Leisure as a matter of any significance? Answer the question, Mr. Freer.
Yes.
Yes. No further questions, my lord.
Going on? This is not matter to swords, you know. What's going on?
Jack, please. I'm trying to get a shot.
Oh, well, hang on a minute. You've got to have me in it. Just a minute, sir. Yeah, the boat, sir. Okay.
Sorry, look. I was hoping for something just a bit more natural, you know, Dave and Roger working. Alone.
Oh.
Yeah, more to you later.
Yeah, well, you know where to find me. I'll be in the office all day. So with a smile.
Yeah, thanks.
How's that look?
Fine. A few more between the sheds, though, Bill. Well, what do you think?
Vanessa, all we need is a red carpet, and the customers will start thinking they're royalty.
That's the secret of success. Treat the customers like royalty, they'll keep coming back. By the way, how's Avril?
Nervous at having to give us.
I don't blame her. When Congreve said no hella fury like a woman scorned, he obviously hadn't met Charles Frere. She'll be all right.
I hope so.
Come in.
Are you busy?
Yes, very. Can you fix an appointment with Rachel?
I tried, but she can never fit me in.
I'm sorry, Leo, but not this week.
I know you've got a lot on with the court case and everything, but it won't take long.
It's not just the court case. I'm on my way to a meeting, then I've got a luncheon
All I
appointment.
need is 1 minute to clear something with you. Please.
Look, if If it's about the powerboat, I will put forward your recommendation to the board as soon as I get that Sabia Fernandez deal signed, sealed, and delivered. All right?
How would you feel if you didn't have to go to the board to raise the capital expenditure for the boat?
Well, how else do you expect me to find that kind of finance?
Sponsorship.
You're wasting my time.
If I could find a sponsor willing to go along with it, would you?
Well, yes. Yes, of course I would.
That's all I wanted to know.
Now, hang on a minute, Leo. You can't expect a sponsor to cover all your development costs.
Oh, I don't know about that. In fact, I have a luncheon appointment of my own to discuss it with someone who might be interested.
Oh? Who's that?
When I have more details and the agreement's ready to be signed, sealed, and delivered, I'll fix up an appointment with Rachel and let you know.
Let me get this right. He denied everything?
He tried to make it sound as if he were doing you a favour.
What? I suppose initially he did. I mean, he lent me the money.
At that rate of interest.
Nobody else was prepared to. No bank would touch me.
Well, he also tried to suggest he was doing me a favour as well.
You know what the annoying thing is? I mean, I suppose unintentionally he did. He brought us together. What's his next move likely to be?
I don't know. But whatever it is, we're going to have to be one step ahead.
Yeah, what about Laura?
I'm not worried about Laura.
Huh?
No, you just tell her that your shares are not for sale, and that's the end of it.
I don't think it's going to be quite as simple as that.
So you don't deny that you instructed your broker to purchase shares on your behalf in McLean Leisure?
No, but that was before I was aware of Mr. Frere's interest.
I'm not concerned about when you purchased the shares at this point.
Well, I rather think the actual date is relevant.
I asked you a direct question, Mr. Urquhart. For the record, please give the court a direct answer. Do you or do you not deny that you instructed your broker to purchase the shares?
No, of course I don't deny it.
Thank you. Now, as far as the actual date is concerned, according to your broker's slips, that transaction took place on the 12th.
Yes, that's correct.
Where did you first declare your interest in purchasing the shares?
Well, I'm afraid I can't recall the actual date.
Can you recall a meeting you had with your broker on the 3rd of the same month?
Not in precise detail.
Nevertheless, you requested the meeting to discuss your investment portfolio, did you not?
Yes.
Including a proposed investment in McLean Leisure?
I have no such recollection.
Your broker does.
Objection, my lord. Any recollection of Mr. Urquhart's broker is hearsay and therefore inadmissible as evidence.
If you'd allow me to proceed with my line of questioning, my lord, I'm merely trying to ascertain precisely when Mr. Urquhart first declared his intention to purchase the shares from the date the actual transaction took place. Thank you, my lord. Now, according to an entry in his desk diary, your broker made a note to check McLean Leisure shares on the 3rd of the month in question.
Well, that hardly constitutes an intention to purchase the shares.
Then what does it constitute in your view, Mr. Urquhart?
Well, I was probably interested in the overall performance of the shares.
And just what exactly fueled your interest? The fact that Relton Marine had entered into negotiations with McLean Leisure on behalf of Freer Holdings?
I was totally unaware those negotiations had taken place until the 10th.
Your chief executive of Freer Holdings, Mr. Urquhart, I would submit that you were quite well aware that those negotiations were taking place not on the 10th, but on the 3rd, exactly the same time as Mr. Freer.
These are lovely, Francis. We have brought the documents, haven't you?
There was a time in my courting days when I was only required to bring a lady flowers.
The documents are far more important.
I told you, Kate, I can't show them to you.
Francis.
But I recognise their importance to you, and incidentally to myself. My association with the Mermaid goes back longer than yours, you know. My father commissioned his first boat at the yard when I was 6, taught me to sail in it, and the yard's built me 3 boats over the years, including my present one, which you persuaded me to buy, if you remember. So I don't want to see the old Mermaid developed into a concrete carbuncle any more than you do.
Good. Give me a hand and open that bottle, will you? Francis, please, please let me read the minutes of that meeting.
No, you can't.
Why not?
Because they're private. All I can do at this stage is give you a lead.
Well, at least that's a start.
I'm in strict confidence, Kate. I don't want to find myself court-martialed by the mayor. She's another determined woman like yourself.
Hurry up and open the bottle. Then we can have some lunch.
What will you have, Leo?
I think I'll try the Caesar salad. Thanks.
I'll have rib of beef, please. Rare and with a green salad. So, Vanessa Endenberg tells me you're looking for a sponsor.
That's right.
I believe she forwarded on my proposals.
I believe she did.
And what do you think?
If you're expecting me to recommend to my board that they accept your proposals, I prefer to hear what you think first, Leo.
What about the engine concept?
I pay my technical people to do that, Leo, and they will go over that specification with a fine-tooth comb. Thank you. I'm more interested in your commercial plans. You head Relton Marine's powerboat division, yes?
That's right.
How have sales been since you took over?
Up 10% on target. I'm convinced if we had a higher profile on the racing circuit, our sales could be even higher.
So long as your boat wins.
No one in racing gets anywhere coming second.
Especially the sponsor. And if the boat loses, the sponsor loses £200,000.
But if it wins, the sponsor can recoup his development costs in no time at all.
You really believe it'll be that easy?
I would say easy. But if you're asking me if I think it's a viable proposition, then the answer's most definitely yes.
So viable, your own company won't risk the cost?
Relton manufacture and distribute. We're not geared up to exploiting endorsement opportunities. From what Vanessa tells me, your company, Confederated Industries, is. That's why I decided to offer you first right of refusal.
Consider it. And if we do refuse?
I'm sure your competitors wouldn't make the same mistakes, Ryan.
No, I'm sure they wouldn't. You're a very persuasive and determined young man, Leo.
Francis, surely you can tell me the name of the developer.
No, I can't.
Come on, Francis.
No, but I've given you enough for you to make an inspired guess. It's easier than backing a horse. It's a very small field.
I figured it might be.
And now I'm afraid you're on your own.
You don't say you're going away again, just when you're needed.
I'm afraid so. After the mermaid party tomorrow, I'm off abroad on business for a while. I'm sorry.
All right. Then it's up to me.
Well, don't be too worried. I've already briefed my deputy chairman. He's a good chap. And I'll keep in touch, I promise.
Thank you, Francis.
All in all, I don't think the prosecution has inflicted any major damage.
Yet. Yes, quite. Elliot certainly seems to be more than capable.
Oh, he's capable, all right. Especially during the early stages of an afternoon session. He'll be hoping that you both had a pleasant lunch and are feeling relaxed. So just be careful you don't get caught off guard.
Hello, my dear. Kate, what a nice surprise. What are you doing here? I wanted to have a few words with Jack. If he's anywhere about. I'm afraid he's not. He's with Abby at the publishers. The pictorial they're doing together. Yes, I've heard. How's it all going? Well, Abby's got some terrific photographs, but I don't know if Jack will meet the deadline. He's working his usual 2 speeds. Slow and stop. What he's written is very good. I just wish he'd get a move on. You can't push Jack if he doesn't want to be pushed. It's ironic, isn't it, Vanessa? All these problems coming just when the yard is celebrating its 200th birthday. Especially with dear Tom away. Which particular problems? This projected development of the yard, of course. What development? Don't you know? Jack promised me he'd tell you. Tell me what? So he didn't. Would you believe it? He swore blind. My God, when I get my hands on that devious so-and-so, I shall break his neck. Kate, calm down. Now just tell me slowly. What on earth is going on? Right.
Please give the court a direct answer to the question, Miss Rolfe. Did you or did you not appoint Sarah Foster to oversee the negotiations?
Yes, but Relton Marine wasn't directly involved in the McLean Leisure takeover. I suggested to Sarah Foster that she take her overall directive from Mr. Freer.
Did you ever personally consult on any aspect of the negotiations?
In an unofficial capacity.
Can you be more specific?
Well, any consultation was outside my remit as managing director of Relton Marine.
That doesn't exactly answer my question, Miss Rolfe. Let me be a little more specific on your behalf. You had a personal relationship with Mr. Freer at the time, as well as a professional one, did you not?
Objection, my lord. Mr. Freer and Miss Rolfe's personal life is not at issue.
My line of questioning is merely an attempt to establish that there was an element of trust between my client and Miss Rolfe, my lord. So, if I may proceed?
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. Your relationship with Mr. Freer, it dissolved in the midst of the McLean Leisure negotiations?
Yes. If I recall, it was around that time.
Would you tell the court the status of Relton Marine, then?
Relton Marine was a subsidiary of Freer Holdings.
Until you subsequently manoeuvred control away from the parent company.
I didn't manoeuvre anything.
Whatever you did, Miss Rolfe, Mr. Freer lost controlling interest, did he not? Answer the question, please, Miss Rolfe.
Mr. Freer now has a minority shareholding in Relton Marine.
You must be an extremely capable businesswoman, Miss Rolfe. Either that or you exploited access to inside information with which you were entrusted.
I resent that.
So does my client, Miss Rolfe. He placed a great deal of trust in you.
Mr. Freer lost controlling interest in Relton Marine at the same time as he lost the trust of his shareholders, and through no manoeuvre of mine.
What about McLean Leisure? Did you suggest certain manoeuvres? Namely, using Diacra Holdings as the nominee company to lodge the initial takeover bid?
No, I did not.
Did you suggest those tactics to Sarah Foster?
Frankly, they sound to me more like Freer tactics.
And that sounds like nothing more than a recrimination, Miss Rolfe.
I just don't understand. Why didn't you say anything? Jack, your livelihoods would be at stake, yours and Tom's. Have you spoken to Tom?
Not yet.
And what about Avril? Does she know?
No, she's got enough on her plate as it is with this court case. No point in worrying her unnecessarily.
According to you, there's nothing to worry about.
Well, there isn't. Freer can't very well redevelop the yard if the court case goes against him. As, of course, he runs his business from jail.
And if it doesn't go against him?
Well, there still isn't a problem. I mean, he can't very well bring in the bulldozers if we don't agree to sell.
That won't stop a man like Charles Freer.
So, what can he do?
I don't know. That's what worries me.
Well, whatever road he decides to go down, he won't get very far.
Unless he gets planning permission.
Listen, Vanessa, Tom and I are proprietors of the Mermaid Yard, not him. I don't see there's any problem.
Evidently not.
Yeah, well, so stop worrying about it. I don't know about you, but I've got more important things on my mind.
Such as?
Like getting this editorial done and the publishers off my back.
15 to 8 favourite. 3 Longshoreman 20 to 1.
There, darling. Good day.
Not bad. Not bad at all. How about you?
Quiet. I'll tell you in a few moments.
13 Narjam 12 to 1. Non-runners numbers 15 and 16. At Thirsk 4 o'clock. Number 3 Orchard Court 10 to 1.
That's what I wanted to hear.
10 to 1. So it was a good day.
Every day is a good day for me, Leo. Whatever the racing results. When you get to my age, you'll understand why. Your mother's out this evening, so it's just you and me, Leo.
It's just you, Gran. I'm leaving Abby.
Oh. How's she feeling?
Fine so far.
Has the baby started kicking yet? Oh, sorry. I know. Talking about the baby is off limits.
No, it isn't. I'm sorry about the other day. Didn't mean anything.
That's all right. Don't apologise. I understand. You're feeling under pressure.
Oh, it's not just Abby and the baby. Let's just say it's a delicate time at work.
Yes, so your mother's been telling me. What seems to be the trouble?
I've been trying to develop a power boat, but Avril keeps blocking it.
It's not like Avril to stand in the way, if it's a good idea.
It is. And it isn't entirely Avril's fault. Her hands are tied by the Relton board.
That's Avril's problem. What about you? Isn't there anything you can do about it?
Well, I could send you around to bop the board members over the head if they don't toe the line.
Any time. Your grandfather used to say, what's the use of getting up in the morning if you don't go after what you want? Surely there is something you could do.
As a matter of fact, I think I already have.
Still that damn answer phone. She's deliberately avoiding me, I know she is. Well, after the rough treatment she received in court today, it's hardly surprising. Listen, Avril gave as good as she got, unfortunately.
Well, what else do you expect? Lee Simmons drove her into a corner with no other way out.
Her evidence could be absolutely crucial. If she could just be persuaded to choose her words more carefully in a revised statement.
Forget it, Charles. The court would be inclined to regard that as perverting the course of justice.
And I'd be inclined to call it doing a deal.
For what? Old time's sake?
After what I've done for her, I would have expected a degree of loyalty, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, you're quite prepared to have a blame for the entire McLean Leisure affair.
She was responsible for our entering into negotiations in the first place. Now, in my book, responsibility and accountability go hand in hand.
Morally, perhaps, but legally, I mean, an error of judgment is hardly a criminal offence.
That is exactly my point, Gerald. If she could only accept there was an error of judgment, she could walk away from this mess practically unscathed.
She could also lose her job.
Oh, I'll find her another job. What I'm saying is the law couldn't touch her. Unlike us. If we're found guilty, we go to prison for up to 7 years.
Charles, instead of clutching at straws where Avril Rolfe is concerned, I think our time would better be spent in going over our defence for tomorrow.
All she'd have to do is issue a revised statement.
Look, if you attempt to persuade or influence Avril in any way, you are in danger of committing perjury, and so is she.
I just don't think she's fully aware of the consequences if the court returns a verdict of guilty against us.
I
I think she's quite well aware.
No. No, we've had our differences in the past, and I know we've fought tooth and nail in business, but I just can't believe she'd want to see me behind bars. Don't count on it.
Hello, nice to see you, nice to see you. Right, Bill, what are you going to have?
Problems with Laura Wilde and Ken Masters if that cruiser of theirs isn't on display tomorrow.
Oh, very fun. It'll be ready on time.
As long as somebody works on it.
Yeah, well, the lads are, so relax. Now, what are you going to have?
I'm supposed to be supervising the late shift, Jack.
Yeah, well, I'm going to meet Vanessa at 7:30, so I won't be hanging around. We've got time for a quick one.
Yeah, I know you're a quick one. They usually last till closing time.
Depends how quick we knock 'em back.
Now, what about your ulcer?
Well, it's welcome to join me if he wants. Now, what are you going to have? The usual? Triple B?
A half.
Right. Oh, a pint of Triple B for Bill, please, and I'll have a scotch. Oh, and make it a large one.
When she said she could arrange a meeting, I had no idea she meant with the chairman of the company.
So when do you hope to have everything signed?
In a few days.
That's brilliant. Congratulations.
Same to you. These are terrific, especially this one of Bill.
Yeah, I caught him off guard.
Pleased with it?
Yeah.
Oh, sounds it.
Oh, I was just thinking about the court case.
Jetty thought everything turned out fine.
He would, wouldn't he? He wouldn't want me to worry.
Neither do I, so come on, I'm sure everything will be fine.
If he's innocent.
But you have your doubts.
I don't want to, but I do a bit, yeah. You've no idea how that makes me feel. He's the one person I thought I could trust.
Until you met me.
Of course, till I met you.
What kind of boat are they trying to develop?
Oh, my uncle didn't say. All I know is that Ralph and Marine have approached his company for sponsorship.
Interesting.
Yes, I thought it might be, but that's not all, Ken. He also mentioned something about Laura. Apparently, she acted as a consultant a few years ago in America for a subsidiary of Confederated Industries, and, well, let's just say she's got quite a reputation.
In what way?
Well, from what he said, Ken, she doesn't exactly take any prisoners. I mean, she's a capable businesswoman, but ruthless.
Yes, I'm well aware of that. And couldn't your uncle be more specific?
Well, I could try and encourage him, I suppose. Maybe arrange a meeting.
You know, you're settling in very well at Leisure Cruise, Vicky. Might be time to review your salary.
Well, that's very considerate of you, Ken.
I mean, if you could arrange a meeting, I'd appreciate it. Your uncle could be a good contact.
Oh, yes, I mean, he is. He also takes an active interest in my career, and, well, you know, he was asking me about the benefits of working for a company like Leisure Cruise. I seemed a bit surprised I didn't even get a company car.
I'll have to see what I can do.
Yeah.
Getting a bit crowded in here, isn't it? I suggest we drink up and go.
Sorry I'm late.
That's all right.
What a day. Drink, please.
Help yourself.
I just had a session with Charles, going over details for tomorrow.
What about today? How did that go?
Well, on balance, I would say in our favour, just about.
Good. So hopefully, then, you won't need to take up my offer.
What? Oh, yes, looking after my interests.
Assuming that you're thrown into prison.
Well, who knows? Who knows? Well, it depends on how we get on tomorrow.
Ironic, isn't it? My partner being called to give evidence.
It could be crucial.
Oh, I don't think you need be too concerned about Ken.
I wish I could be as optimistic.
Just take a look through that file. What is this? Some documents I thought might interest you.
I don't know what it is, but maybe writing the editorial for the Yard's birthday celebration has brought it all home to me again.
You weren't married to the Yard, Jack. You were married to Eileen.
I let her down, Bill.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. Do you know something? I've never told you this before, but sometimes I walk through that yard and I feel her presence. Just can't get her out of my mind. Like she's there watching me. She bloody haunts me, Bill.
The only thing haunting you, Jack, is guilt. You've got to put it behind you once and for all. Eileen would be turning in her grave if she thought you were torturing yourself like this.
And that's another thing. I haven't visited her grave since the day she was buried. Just can't bring myself to do it.
Oh, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I have enough difficulty facing the wife myself sometimes. Especially in the morning. That's better. Hey, listen to me, Jack.
Yeah, Mum.
We've been friends for a long time, right?
Right.
All this guilt you're feeling, it's not good for you. Nor me. I've had more hangovers than hot dinners with you over this. You gotta do something about it before it's too late.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. It's nearly closing time. Same again?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. And who's going for a tata? Say goodbye to Bill.
Darling.
Right.
And you are going the same way, too. I think there's a bit of a storm brewing on the horizon, Jack.
Oh, hello, Vanessa. I didn't see you in here.
I'm surprised you're able to see anything, Jack. The same goes for you too, Bill. Daisy expected you home 2 hours ago, and I expected you, Jack, at 7:30. I've been ringing around, worried sick.
Why?
Why? Because we had a dinner engagement, that's why.
Oh, yes, you're right. Well, let's go. I mean, Bill can join us, eh?
The only place you're going, Jack, is home. You too, Bill.
Yeah, well, I'd better get somebody to call me a cab.
Yeah, I'll do it. You're a cat. I'm terribly sorry, Vanessa.
That is the worst joke I have ever heard in my entire life. Now I'm going to drive you both home. And I wouldn't like to feel the way you are both going to feel in the morning.
Pleasure finally meeting you.
My pleasure, James. Oh, I was sorry about the Claude. Yeah, tragic. Yes, it was. And your daughter. She's still cool. I think she's finally come to terms with it. The last I heard, she was in the Mediterranean herself. Oh, she's moved on now. She's in the Greek Isles. She started her own business. Yacht charter line. The Greek Isles, my favorite location. Next to the ones that I've shortlisted for your show, of course. Of course. Hello, you're in early.
Yeah, I was doing some studying. Refreshing myself on details and dates on some business I did with Freya Holdings.
Ah, preparing to do battle.
Well, trying to, yes.
I wouldn't care to be in Charles Frere's shoes this morning. You sound as if you're going to enjoy giving evidence.
Yes, I'd enjoy it a lot more if I could find the Marina development file. You've not seen it lying around by any chance, have you?
Well, your personal files are usually kept under lock and key.
Yes, I know that. This is a blue Cardex folder.
Well, why didn't you ask Vicky when she comes in? I'm afraid I know nothing about it.
Miss April?
Yeah?
Does that look straight to you now?
I think you could go down 2 inches on the left.
Oh, I was hoping to get down from here. I don't have head for heights this morning.
You should go celebrating at Dad.
I tried phoning the cottage again, still no answer. He's probably overslept.
Well, the way Jack was going to it last night, he probably didn't hear it.
Oh, I hope it's all right. I think I'll just go over to the cottage, just to check.
These stairs would make a striking walk up the lines.
James, what do you think?
Yeah, it could work. It could work very well. We could maybe see the audience and a fan around here.
Good idea. I think we should check all the locations before we make our decision, but I like this one. I like it very much indeed.
So did Caroline Charles. Est-ce que Madame Charles a encore réservé?
Oui, madame. Pour mardi.
think I should point out to you that Madame Charles, Caroline Charles, has reserved this location for the Tuesday of the Fashion Week.
Well, look, if another designer's already using this location, I think I'd prefer to try for somewhere different.
Yes, I agree. If it is something different that you're after, I think I have just the right place. Sir John, you still hold a seat on the board of the bank, but you actively retired as chairman a year ago, did you not?
I did indeed.
And what was the reason for your retiring?
A conflict of interests if I'd remained.
Why?
I was offered another appointment.
Would you please tell the court where?
Chairman of Diacra Holdings, working alongside Mr. Freer and Mr. Urquhart.
Do you recall if either Mr. Freer or Mr. Urquhart had any knowledge of the finer details of the McLean leisure negotiations?
Not as far as I know. None whatever.
So, in your view, it would be reasonable for the court to assume that Mr. Freer delegated responsibility to one of his senior executives to carry out the negotiations?
Yes, I think that would be more than reasonable. In fact, as I recall, when they discovered that some shareholders might be defrauded, both Mr. Freer and Mr. Urquhart were very concerned and most anxious to find out who was responsible.
Thank you, Sir John. No further questions, my lord?
No questions at this point, my lord.
Glorious weather.
Mr. Morris.
Yes, of course. Thank you. So good of you to come.
200 years the man. Yes, 200 more.
Cheers. 200 years. Why don't we wait and get a few shots with you and Ken on board? Ken has been, detained. Oh, of course, the court case, I forgot. Let's hope he won't be detained too long, especially not at Her Majesty's pleasure.
Congratulations, Leo. What do you want? Boy or a girl?
I don't mind.
How about you, Abby? Oh, no, I don't mind either, as long as it's healthy.
That's what my late wife said, bless her. And then she presented me with twins.
How'd you cope?
Oh, no problem. Put them both in their mother's arms, kissed all three of them, and went back to sea.
Charming. You women always have the short straw. Oh, excuse me, will you? Any luck? No. I checked the cottage, the yacht club, the Jolly Sailor. No one's seen him. Just don't understand it. I knew he was going off somewhere. He'd have called us. No sign of Jack yet, I take it? I'm afraid not, Kate. It's just so unlike him to miss something like today. Oh, well, he's often gone to ground before, so try not to be too concerned. It's just so disappointing. I thought he'd be here at the crack of dawn. He'll turn up sooner or later. I don't know, Kate. I've an awful feeling something's wrong. Well, I think this place is absolutely perfect.
Yeah. I think we're going to be hard-pressed to find anywhere better. This is beautiful. Who built this place?
Grand Master of the Knights of St. John.
I know this sounds daft, but it's almost as if he had a fashion show in mind when he built it. I mean, this is a natural catwalk.
So, if you're both impressed, I take it I can book this location. Absolutely. Always assuming that it's still free, of course. No problem. Alors réserver cette location. Oui, madame. Mr. Masters, you once participated in a business venture with Freer Holdings developing a marina project, did you not?
Yes, unsuccessfully. It cost me a considerable amount of money.
You're an entrepreneur, Mr. Masters. Entrepreneurs don't usually lose money.
Unless you do business with Freer Holdings as a joint venture partner.
Mr. Masters, you were summoned to give evidence in this trial concerning your past business dealings with my clients. And yet at every opportunity it seems you're more interested in a blatant attempt at character assassination. Why?
Because your clients give respectable businessmen like me a bad name.
There you go again, Mr. Masters. I would submit that outside this courtroom, your evidence would be considered nothing short of slander.
You didn't lose the money. I did.
My clients withdrew from the negotiations on the marina development for fear their shareholders could lose a substantial amount of money.
Like the McLean Leisure shareholders, do you mean?
You've no proof of that, Mr. Masters.
And neither did my ex-partner, Sarah Foster. But she had a fair idea of what was going on. That's why she got out while she could.
That's not proof. More like a statement from a vindictive and bitter man with a grudge over a failed business enterprise.
That's for the jury to decide, isn't it? But if you're asking me to testify whether I think Charles Frere and Gerald Urquhart are capable of defrauding shareholders, well, after the way they've treated me and the amount of money I've lost, and the answer is definitely yes. There is no doubt in my mind at all.